Skol Nation, stop right now. US Bank Stadium just erupted with breaking news, and one fact is already carved into the north. $17,389. A locker room defied the narrative. A quarterback's grip strength became the only thing standing between hope and disaster. And a veteran's safety just got reminded that the league is watching. Insiders lit up the wires last night, and here's the first payoff. That $17,000 figure? It's the exact fine Harrison Smith has to write a check for, and it might be one of the last penalties he ever receives in an NFL uniform. If you skol louder than you breathe and want Green Bay silenced in Week 18, smash that like and subscribe. We start with the head coach who refused to let this season die. Stay locked. 3 weeks ago, the math was brutal. Minnesota Vikings eliminated from playoff contention, sitting at 4-8, staring down a lost season and a high draft pick if they just rolled over. Some fan bases would have collapsed. Some coaches would have mailed it in. But Kevin O'Connell, he looked at his locker room and said, "We're not done." The result? 3 straight wins. Christmas Day, US Bank Stadium, Detroit Lions demolished 23-10. Now the Vikings stand at 7-9 heading into Week 18, with a chance to finish above 500 and send the Green Bay Packers into the playoffs with a demoralizing loss. That's not tanking, that's building. After the Lions win, O'Connell didn't hold back. Quote, "We've had some phenomenal practices. We've had total conviction to prepare and go try to win a game, and the energy has been great." December wins. December divisional wins. You can really look inward and say, we're building something. End quote. Listen to those words: conviction, leadership, building. This is a head coach who understands that culture doesn't pause just because the playoff door slammed shut. This is the second time in O'Connell's tenure that Minnesota has missed the postseason the year after making it. The Vikings haven't made back-to-back playoff trips since 2008 and 2009. That's a 17-year drought. But here's the context that matters. O'Connell inherited a franchise that needed identity, and even in a lost season, he's cementing one. Winning divisional games in December when you're out of contention? That's a message to the entire NFC North. Green Bay, Detroit, Chicago, they all have to walk into next season knowing Minnesota doesn't quit.
And according to sources close to the situation, this is a rumor. O'Connell called a coaches-only meeting after the Lions win and told his staff, do you believe Kevin O'Connell is the right leader for this team long-term? Drop your take below. And if you think the Vikings' late-season surge proves they're one off-season away from contending, smash that like button. But here's the twist. While O'Connell is building culture, the quarterback situation just became a question mark. Because the player who was supposed to be the future
asked about McCarthy's status for Week 18, and here's what he said. It's all going to come down to just grip strength and his ability to grip the football and throw it. I would obviously love to have him get one more opportunity for this year. Translation? This isn't a shutdown situation. O'Connell wants McCarthy on the field if he can play. And here's why that matters. On Christmas Day, with McCarthy sidelined, the Vikings started Max Brosmer at quarterback. The result? 51 passing yards, total. 60 minutes of football, and Minnesota's passing attack looked like it belonged in 19. But if they want to beat Green Bay in Week 18 and finish the season with momentum, they need McCarthy. Here's the deeper context. McCarthy's development has been the single biggest storyline of Minnesota's season outside of the playoff miss. He's shown flashes of elite anticipation, pocket movement, and decision-making. If he can play against the Packers and deliver an impressive performance, it solidifies his position as QB1 heading into 2026. If he can't play, the offseason has been. He knows what's at stake. He knows a win over the Packers would be the perfect way to send the fan base into the offseason with hope. The medical staff is being cautious, but McCarthy's mindset is clear. He wants to compete. Do you think J.J. McCarthy should play in Week 18, even if he's not 100%? Drop your opinion below. And if you believe McCarthy is the franchise quarterback Minnesota has been searching for, hit that like button. But while the quarterback situation hangs in the balance, NFL releases its Game Day Accountability Report. Buried in the list, one name stands out: Harrison Smith. The violation? A hit on a quarterback in Week 16 against the New York Giants. First quarter, 8 minutes remaining. The charge? Blow to the head and neck area. The fine? $17,389.
Read between the lines. That's not a commitment to return. That's a man who knows the end is near. But here's the twist. Harrison Smith is playing like he's 25. Against the Lions on Christmas, he recorded 3 tackles, 1 sack, and 1 interception. He was flying. After the game, he spoke with Ben Lieber and said, "Today was one of the best defensive performances as a unit we've ever been a part of. Guys were flying around. We were having fun." That's a player who still has it. But respected safeties in NFL history.
If he walks away after Week 18, he leaves or if J.J. McCarthy takes a significant step, maybe Smith considers one more year. A 1-year deal. A final run at a Super Bowl. The speculation around the league, and this is a rumor, is that Smith's decision will depend on whether he believes Minnesota can contend in 2026. If the offseason moves suggest they're rebuilding, he retires. If the moves suggest they're going all in, he might return. And here's the emotional layer. Week 18 against the Packers could be Harrison Smith's final game at US Bank Stadium. Imagine the moment. The crowd roaring, the defense taking the field one last time, Smith lining up, knowing this could be it. If he intercepts Jordan Love and seals a Vikings win, that's a storybook ending. Do you think Harrison Smith should retire or come back for one more year? Drop your answer below. And if you want to see Harrison Smith end his career with a win over the Packers, smash that like. But this story isn't over, because the Packers are about to walk into US Bank Stadium knowing Minnesota has nothing to lose and everything to prove. 3 stories, 1 truth. Kevin O'Connell refuses to let culture die. J.J. McCarthy's grip strength is the only thing standing between hope and chaos, and Harrison Smith might be writing his final chapter in purple. Minnesota Vikings, eliminated from the playoffs 3 weeks ago, sitting at 4-8, but instead of folding, they won 3 straight. Christmas Day, they demolished Detroit. And now, Week 18, they face the Green Bay Packers at US Bank Stadium with a chance to finish above 500 and send their most hated rival into the postseason with a demoralizing loss. That's not tanking, that's identity. Let's break down what this means. If the Vikings execute in Week 18, they finish the season with momentum heading into 2026. If J.J. McCarthy plays and delivers, he becomes the unquestioned QB1. If Harrison Smith plays lights out and then retires, he goes out as a legend. The pieces are in place. Foundation is solid. The question is, does Skull Nation believe? Here's what I need from Viking Nation. 1. Smash that like if you believe the Vikings' December surge proves they're building something real. 2. Drop a comment with your boldest prediction for Week 18. Do we beat the Packers? Does J.J. McCarthy play? Does Harrison Smith intercept Jordan Love one last time? 3. Subscribe, because every single subscriber makes Packers fans furious, and we're about to take over the entire North. But listen closely. Here's the edge of the cliff. J.J. McCarthy's hand injury status won't be finalized until game week. The medical staff is evaluating his grip strength daily, and if he can't go, Max Brosmer starts again, and the offense becomes one-dimensional. That decision could come in the next 48 hours, and on top of that, the Packers just locked up the 6th seed in the NFC playoff picture, but a loss to Minnesota in Week 18 would send them into the postseason with 0 momentum. Green Bay's defense has been vulnerable, and if the Vikings exploit that, they might ruin the Packers' playoff hopes before they even begin. Plus, there's a rumor that Harrison Smith called a players-only meeting after the Lions win. No coaches, no front office, and what was said could either cement his legacy or set up his emotional farewell. That story drops next. Skull Nation, the final battle is here. Kevin O'Connell built a culture that refuses to quit. J.J. McCarthy is fighting to prove he's the future. Harrison Smith might be playing his last game in purple. And the Packers? They're about to walk into our house and feel the thunder. Hit subscribe, stay locked, and let's finish this season the way it deserves, with a win that echoes through the entire NFC North. We don't rebuild, we reload. Skull.